Mordecai, thank you for being here, including what we're going to call the Trump transformation. After his assassination attempt, Mordecai, his past seemingly just has kind of faded away, at least for now. Nobody is focusing on that. We're seeing now these images, even a T-shirt I saw today online, where you see the blood on his face and his fist pumped. And so he's kind of, taken on this, if you will, maverick role right now.
It's astonishing what we've experienced in just 48 hours. After all, if you go back to, say, Friday, and everybody knew who Trump was, and everybody knew his strengths and his weaknesses, and they had their stories. He gets shot, he survives, and it's a new Trump because of how we feel about him. In other words, he's the survivor, he's the tough guy, and it's almost like we've swept away his entire past, and we're just thinking of him as the guy who survived the assassination. This really reminds me of Reagan in 1981. He survives an assassination, and all of a sudden, instead of thinking of him as this sort of hard right, conservative guy, everybody loved him. That was the moment that made Ronald Reagan who he was. So we as Americans, we love the sort of rebirth of a new person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, from the transformation to the president of the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, what a passionate speech tonight. I mean, in fact, some of the words that we wrote down, he talked about economic terrorism, for example.
Right.
Referring to the firing of employees that want to organize a union. A lot of buzzwords there. How energized was the crowd from that speech, in your opinion?
I was astonished that this was the Republican convention. At a Democratic convention, you expect union leaders to say the usual stuff. He was bashing corporations and he was praising unions. This is the new Republican Party. This is a different Republican Party.
Yeah.
In the sense they're appealing to blue-collar workers. They want blue-collar workers to feel that the Republican Party recognizes them as forgotten Americans and that the Republican Party wants to help them.
So trying to align themselves. Instead of this elitist party, we are the party of the people.
Absolutely. You almost wish you knew what some of the people in the audience were thinking, some of those delegates thinking, whoa, this is the Republican Party?
Yeah.
I'm pro-corporation.
Ron Johnson also spoke. What did you think about that tonight?
I thought he gave a good speech. I mean, he was really trying to talk about forgotten Americans, that we're here to help you. I think he's a very effective speaker. He really brought everything together in just like 3 minutes.
You're a cook, you're in the kitchen, you have one seasoning for a huge meal. In other words, that's the topic. Is that the key to getting voters, perhaps independents, over on your ticket when it comes to being November? Talk about the prices at the grocery store, prices at the pump. Do you think that's the key, or is it something else?
No, I thought it was very effective. The whole evening was effective because it was so thematic. It kept saying that again and again. And they were telling to Americans, democracy is easy. Democracy is simple. I don't care how you voted, how your parents voted. But if we're talking about the things that you care about, we're the party that's going to help you.
Mordecai Lee, always great to have your insight.
Thank you.